It's loudest voice of the week. Sometimes we give you guys a heroic moment where somebody sticks it to the man, does it in a very intense place, intense situation, disruption moment, calling out the billionaire class, calling out the Zionists. We love those ones. Sometimes people just have a total freak out and doesn't really accomplish much of anything, but we show that sometimes when people have been pushed to the limit and they have had enough and they have nothing else to lose. So it really depends on the week. But then occasionally we also do one where it's so humiliating and embarrassing. We like to understand why it happened. So we'll show that. So this week we actually, for loudest voice of the week, we were actually doing a tie. It's a two-way tie for loudest voice of the week. We're going to start with the one that is a more noble, heroic moment that I believe happened on Piers Morgan when Owen Jones found a way to get Piers to concede that maybe, just maybe, he will at some point be willing to call it a genocide. To get to that point is very difficult because as much as you guys think that Piers is on the right side, he's not. He's just a guy that puts himself in a convenient position to have a interesting show that gets hits. That's what he does. He's not a moral guy. He will always push back on the convenient thing that he wants to do. He's not on the side of the people. He only makes it seem like that occasionally when he's going up against a psychopath Zionist. I don't know that Piers Morgan is not a Zionist, but he's a propagandist. So there's a little difference. So, but anyways, let's let Owen Jones go through his process with Piers, who's trying to end the interview, but Owen keeps at it. And I want to give him props for this. This is loudest voice of the week. First winner of today. Here we go.
Crimes, which you keep erasing because you keep.
I want to see the evidence of the war crimes. So when it comes, I will be the first to lambast them.
They did them on camera.
But I prefer due process on these things.
Yeah, but when they declare to the world they're fighting human animals and they're going to, from the very beginning they said
I would call Hamas human animals.
They didn't say, they said civilians.
Right, well,
they said the residents of Gaza, and they said they were cutting off, at the very beginning, water and fuel. Is a deliberate siege of a deliberate siege of a civilian population, is that a war crime, yes or no?
Listen, if you're asking me, do I agree with the occupation? No.
No, I'm talking about the siege. They announced the siege of Gaza.
No, they shouldn't have been able to do it.
Is it a war crime or not?
Probably.
So you accept they committed war crimes from day one then?
I think the siege that they enacted because they were able to is indicative of the wider, bigger picture problem of the occupation. I agree with that.
So you conceded the point then. You've conceded the point that this doesn't begin, obviously, in the 7th of October.
Of course not.
But then...
I've never said that.
You would never say...
I think you should watch my show more often.
Well, I've got life...
It's good to have you back.
Life's too short.
It's good to have you back. But honestly, life isn't too short for you to be better informed about what I do on my show.
Well, you don't accept Israel's committing genocide.
All these generalisations, which make me think you haven't watched it.
You don't think Israel's committing genocide?
You'd be better informed if you watched my show more often.
Do you think Israel's committing genocide?
As you were about our friend Bob Violent, who it turned out made you look a right chump.
Well,
anyway,
you look more of a chump when you won't accept Israel's committing genocide, Piers, which is really easy to do. You could just say it now. Is Israel committing genocide?
When the ICC says it's genocide, I will say
that's what we have.
Okay, now this is how he gets them. So watch this. This is a brilliant move. This is what you call, this is an actual chess game. Because you have to play this game with Piers, or he'll just cut to the commercial. He's trying to do that right now, but he got him to say, "I'll do it when the ICC says it's okay to do it." Well, now Owen Jones is going to educate Piers on how that doesn't really check out, does it? Okay, here we go.
That's the only time you're waiting.
That's kind of a legal process I'm waiting for.
Okay, so you will never...
But we've run out of time.
Okay, so
it's good to see you.
If Hamas... You don't think Hamas has
come back again soon? Come back again soon.
Okay, fair enough.
Hamas committed war crimes.
But you've not waited for the ICC to make their case?
No, because Hamas broadcast it on their own GoPros.
So have Israel.
We're committing war crimes.
It's literally on camera. Thousands of war crimes.
We've run out of time. Literally, the studio has run out of time. However... I would love to have you back more often. Sure. I enjoy our debates. Okay, and actually, we agree with a lot more than probably people think.
You do need to move over to accepting it's genocide. I think that would be very important given your platform and influence.
And there may be a time I do that.
Okay, well, let's see.
But it's good to see you.
You too.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
There may be a time that I do that. And that's what you were forced to have to say, Piers, because he got you into a pickle when you're waiting on the ICC to tell you that it's okay when they're actually taking a long time to tell us. In the meantime, you're able to. So there's the contradiction here, and you can see him trying to get to the commercial, try to get to the commercial. But he's saying maybe there's one day I will say it. And unfortunately, as much as this was an accomplishment for Owen Jones to pressure him to finally admit that he will have to say it at some point, it's still nothing really that great to have to celebrate, because we know that looking back a moment like this, it's kind of tragic that a guy like Piers, and so many like him, he's not unique. There's so many like him who have to wait to the right moment to say the right thing. And then it'll be okay. So the fact that he's still not able to do it, it is sad. But he admitted that he's not able or ready, or his handlers didn't give him the okay to do it yet. You can see him struggling, but that's the logic of somebody not able to be honest right now. That's their logic. That's their attempt to maneuver. And kudos to Owen Jones for getting him to at least say, I guess I'll have to say it at some point. Hopefully sooner than later. And that's just how these conversations have to be until then. The next step after that, admitting it's a genocide, is going to be the feared H word. Yep, Holocaust. That's really the thing we should be saying. So it's a process. You got to take people through the process. That's what it's about. So loudest voice of the week. Again, it's a tie. We'll get to the other one now. We just had the 4th of July weekend. We know, we talked a lot about things you needed to look out for, whether it was going to be a bioterrorism attack, whether it was going to be a sleeper cell situation by Israel, blaming it on Iran. There's a lot of things it could have been, might have been, still could be. But the one thing we forgot to talk to you guys about over 4th of July was kind of the obvious thing that I guess we thought went without saying. Don't be an idiot on 4th of July and blow your hand off with fireworks. I think that's a given. I don't think we had to tell our audience that. I certainly didn't think we had to tell any musician or entertainer that. But apparently there was a musician entertainer that needed to be told that and wasn't told that or didn't listen. And this is the unfortunate tragedy that occurred. Rapper 4Extra blows up his hand with fireworks in shocking July 4th accident. He has reportedly suffered a serious hand injury after a firework exploded during his 4th of July celebrations. The LA-based artist, which I didn't know him. I guess he's here in LA. His high energy performances, flashy online presence, posted a video on Instagram just hours before. That's really the story. Not so much that the tragedy occurred that was self-inflicting tragedy, blowing off your hand. But the loudest voice is 4Extra because of the final video he posted. And I apologize for the profanity in advance, but this is what he posted right before lighting the fireworks. And this is what he's ranting about. It's a little twisted. I'll forewarn you again, profanity warning, inappropriate language warning. But here we go. Loudest voice goes to 4Extra right before blowing off his own hand. Here we go.
Nigga, fuck wrong with a nigga. Dead homies, nigga. It's the 4th. I'm about to blow a nigga up. Who wanna get blown up today, nigga? Fuck wrong with a nigga off the back. I'm blowing a nigga up. Stop playing CDs, nigga. I'm throwing them in your house. I'm throwing them at you, nigga. Vernon Avenue, nigga, off the back. I'm blowing your ass up. I'm blowing somebody up today off the back.
I'm blowing somebody up today. Wow. N-word, whatever, man, that's vulgar. But the sentiment, put the vulgarity aside. The sentiment is I'm going to blow someone up today on 4th. How did we get here? How did we get on 4th of July was about blowing somebody up. And of course it backfired and he blew himself up. But where did we get? How did we get here? We were talking, Leslie and I talked to you guys. We told you we were kind of in a way we were protesting 4th of July by just leaving the country, going down to Mexico. We had by the way, we had a great time. Excellent time. What a great trip. What a relaxing, peaceful trip we had over the weekend. And there was it felt good to kind of in our own way protest the 4th of July, since it's based on things that I think that we weren't fully aware of growing up. We didn't fully understand the thing that we were celebrating on this anniversary of our country. We being the colonizers, we being the people, the settlers, really. We were the original Israel, the original settlers here, and how we raped and pillaged and destroyed the lives of the Native Americans, and then just kind of had our way with the land, what we wanted to do, as we were declaring independence from the horrible rule of the British Empire. We were in fact committing these atrocities on the people here in this country, and this is what we celebrate. So if you want to protest that, do it. We protested. We left. Felt good. But the fireworks, the people setting off fireworks, and in such a dangerous way, like I'm not here to give you a safety lesson in how to handle fireworks. What I'm saying is the sentiment going in that this rapper, who apparently is pretty big in LA, I hadn't heard of you, but apparently he's pretty big here. And I guess people watched this video. Who knows how many people he inspired during this little rant about blowing whoever up. So that's what he decided to do. I'm going to do a rant about hurting somebody on this day of celebration. Taking fireworks. There is some tradition in fireworks, but I'm going to take this and I'm going to punish somebody with it. I'm going to brag about it on social media. In the exact hand that I'm about to light, I'm about to blow off. At least 2 of my fingers are going to be blown up in a matter of moments. Very chilling. Very chilling. I don't know if he still has the post up. People grabbed it, obviously. So even if he takes it down, it's not going to really matter because we're going to be able to find it. But that's not the cap. The cap. The capper. I got one more for you. This is his final interview. This is his final interview before 4th of July. I believe it might have been a day beforehand or 2 days before, but this is the last time 4 Extra was on camera. This is even more trippy. Look what he talks about with his hands. Very animatedly, I guess you say. He's got a lot of energy. Let's just say the least. He's got a lot of energy. I'll have to cut this video if it gets on the YouTube channel, if it's copyright. I don't know if it's copyrighted, but I want to play for you. It's so disturbing. It's so disturbing.
Bone is over here.
Whoa.
You see my bone?
Do you need surgery?
Yeah, I got to, but I didn't do it in there. You see it? It's out of place.
Oh, you can't squabble no more.
Yeah, he's fainting. I'm the dead homies. I'm squabbling.
I don't think so.
I ain't making no motherfucking excuse. Off the back, I'm gonna sock you. I'm
no.
the dead homie.
But
oh, look at that. He needs surgery on the hand. So I don't. It was he was holding the fireworks in his left hand. His right hand is the one he's talking about in the interview right before. One of those hands got blown off. I did not get the exact hand, but it is. At this point, it doesn't. I don't think it makes a difference. But one of his hands is no longer, presentable. Let's say. But that's I'm not going to say hey, karma, this and that. What I'm going to say is let's try and understand how we got to a place where so much anger and violence is being presented out there onto the interwebs, and we're telling people, we're inspiring. This guy was inspiring his fans to be angry and hostile and to blow somebody up, using the 4th of July as the catalyst for that, for that action of inflicting violence. As an artist, don't you want to stand up against violence in this world right now? Don't you want to say something against the violence we're committing? And actually, we're blowing up innocent people right now in Gaza, but like not just in Gaza. We're doing it in Lebanon. We're doing it in Yemen. We're doing it in Syria. We're doing it in the West Bank. We're doing it everywhere. And that's again, I'm not going to say karma gets you whatever, but let's just use this. How about we use this as a learning opportunity about the things we post and what we put out there to people, because people are watching and they're listening. And if he had the fan base that he supposedly had here in LA, again, I never heard of him till now, but hopefully they've all learned a lesson, if they even thought that was cool at the time that he was saying all that crap right before he blew his own hand off. But that rant, we're giving him the tie of today's loudest voice of the week.